Wishing Brent well, man. It's my last press conference he'll be walking me to, so he's done a great job with you guys. So I want to wish Brent really, really well, and I hope you guys do too.
Thanks, Coach. And with that, we'll go right into questions, James.
You only gave up 27 points in the second half. Was that an emphasis in the first half? I mean, you didn't look like you were real happy with how they played.
Yeah, well, I mean, 39 points. I got to give them credit. It was a very emotional week. Coming back late. I mean, obviously we got back to our house at like 4:30 in the morning. But their offense they run it with pace. It's a form of Princeton, to where it's hard, like the way they run and cut off the post, and just options they do. They're really good movement, and they got loose for some threes. And to their credit, they hit them. Fox hit I think 4 in the first half, 39 points. Offensively, we did a lot of good things. We had 12 assists in the first half. Sometimes you get in these games and it's just single-minded. And I thought the first half offensively, I was pleased. 12 assists, shot it well. Duke really got us out of the gates offensively, let it come to them, and the guys were finding them. We were better defensively, settled into having to guard the pace of what they were doing. I wish we would have doubled up the first half. 27 in the second. It would have been nice in the first.
Jesse?
Porter, you mentioned it there with Duke, 29 tonight, hit 20 in that first half. Just what stood out to you about the way he was scoring, and then maybe just the season as a whole? Are you seeing him maybe find more of a rhythm as the season goes on?
Well, it shows our depth. We've had, think about it. Those three guards have each had a game over 25 points this year. So it gives you some depth that different guys can contribute like that scoring wise. But Duke I think is really defensively, he gets it going too. Like I just think his energy and aggressiveness defensively has been really good.
Justin?
I know it's still just 2 points at the end of the day, but when you guys get on a fast break and Jeremiah's throwing lobs to Jalen, just plays like that, when you guys are able to get on the run, how much of an extra boost is that?
Yeah, it's a big boost because obviously we want to run. You got two athletic guys leading the break. There's some things based on my playing experience and my coaching experience that I can teach. I really can't teach the underhand lob from the elbow and then coming in there. It's one of those things we don't practice that. It's just one of those natural, God-given passes that he made. I mean, he led him perfectly. I mean, that was just a special pass. My coaching tip to Duke in the second half, he threw it behind the point. I go, can't you do that? Can't you just throw it up there in that vicinity? And that was a big time 2-on-1 between two very athletic special players.
Bob?
Jalen Moore at 6.5, Jeremiah Pierce at 4.5. But how appreciative and proud are you the way that they don't force the action?
Well, it's part of who this team is that we're pulling for each other. I don't think people were finding Duke. I mean, like he had it going, and it wasn't like we were saying, "Hey, get it to Duke." It was just natural flow and giving it up. And then, I thought some things opened up in transition for Jeremiah and Jalen in transition. I think Jeremiah came right out of the gate. We ran in action, and then he popped back for a wide open three that kind of started us in the second half, first play of the second half. And that's just, mind's right, game's right. And those guys were about winning. And we just didn't guard as much as I wanted to guard in the first half. And we've had that scenario before. The last non-Power 5 school, we did that against Alcorn. We didn't guard like we did in the first half, and we've came together at halftime, and we've had a much better second half.
Carson?
Jeremiah told the post-game radio show the other night that he wants none of the focus to be on who you guys play against, opponent, anything like that. In these two games before conference play starts against these mid-majors, what's the biggest thing that you want to see, what you want to learn about your team?
You just don't want to get out of character. You want to stay in character. And our character is a togetherness, a toughness, playing the right way, spacing defensively, 5 guys trying to stop the ball. Sometimes when you get these games, as games go on, some guys get out of character. They start thinking, I got to do this. They're hearing outside voices. And I don't think those guys are about getting out of character. And we talk about that. Our character is staying together. Who we are when we're good is we're connected defensively. We space and share the ball offensively. We got different guys that can do different things. And so what you're looking for is not to get out of character. Understand why this particular team wins and not deviate from that.
Any additional back to James?
I'm just curious, Christmas comes up this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for a basketball team, you got a game on Sunday, so then we get to go home already. How do you handle the Christmas?
They definitely get to go home.
Oh, they do?
Oh, they are a road runner right now. They are running out to go home right now. It's been a grind. You know, they're here all summer, then they're here, I mean, they really, Thanksgiving, we were in the Bahamas. Today's the 22nd, so they get to go home tonight, the 23rd, 24th, 25th. We'll practice the 26th. That's our schedule. I just think it's healthy. I think I'll long run, it'll be better for us mentally to have them be with, you know, family and friends for a couple days, recharge, put that, what we did so far in the bank, and to be excited to come back. You know, there's a lot of teams that are fractured. There's a lot of teams that have had a lot of, you know, we're moving in the right direction. Enjoy your family. I just think it's so important for young guys to do that, and we'll get after it the 26th that night.
Any additional questions for Coach? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.